Welcome to Story Space. Real people, raw moments. Meet Anthony. He gave her a home. She gave his heart to another. Tom, she took the dog, and then the rest of him. And Daniel, his brother stole more than money. He stole trust. These aren't just stories, they're confessions, and you're invited to listen. I'm Anthony, 46, divorced once, mortgage broker, 2 kids. I'm not flashy, not the guy women write poems about, but I'm solid, steady. After my divorce, I didn't date for years. Too much guilt, too much fear I'd mess it up again. Then came Rachel. She was my neighbor's niece. Came down from Boston to reset her life. She had this messy red hair, loud laugh, and wore boots, even in summer. She wasn't like anyone I'd ever met. She called my house warm. She baked banana bread without a recipe. She said my laugh made her feel safe. And damn it, I believed her. It started slow. A shared walk. A borrowed book. Then one night, I kissed her by my garage door like I was 18 again. She moved in 6 months later. The kids liked her. My mom liked her. Hell, even the dog curled up in her lap like she'd always been there. For the first time in years, I thought, maybe this is what second chances feel like. One weekend, I surprised her with a weekend trip to Asheville, rented a cabin, full mountain view. She was quiet the whole drive. I thought maybe she was carsick. When we got there, I lit the fireplace, poured her wine, and said, "What's going on, Rach?" She stared at the flames, then at her hands. Then she said, "Anthony, I've been seeing someone else." I blinked. "What?" She didn't cry. She didn't flinch. I didn't plan to. But it happened. And then came the part that gutted me. "It's Evan, your coworker." Evan, my junior broker, the guy I took under my wing, the guy I once bought a suit for before his first big meeting. I laughed out loud like a damn sitcom. She said, "I never meant to fall for him, but I feel more alive with him." I stood up, walked outside, and stood in the cold night air, listening to the trees move like waves. I didn't scream. I didn't throw things. I just breathed hard. I drove her back the next morning, didn't say a word. That night, I sat at the kitchen table, staring at the banana bread she left on the counter. The kids were at their mom's. The house was dead quiet. Then the dog jumped into my lap. And for the first time in days, I cried. But here's the twist. 2 months later, Evan got fired. Turns out he'd been lying about deals, fudging numbers. He dragged her right into a mess. She tried calling me, left 3 voicemails. I didn't answer. But I did save them, just to remind myself what betrayal sounds like when it realizes it made a mistake. I'm Daniel, 51, and I've learned the hard way that the biggest betrayals don't always come from enemies. They come from people who grew up eating at the same kitchen table as you. My brother Kevin and I couldn't be more different. He was the golden child, a charismatic, smooth, always knew how to charm a room. I was the quiet one, the one who showed up on time, paid bills, fixed the water heater when it broke. When our dad died, we found out he'd left the house to both of us. Split 50-50, the house we were raised in, our childhood in brick and wood and creaky floorboards. At first, Kevin was gracious. "Let's sell it, split the cash, easy." I agreed, but then buyers started calling, and Kevin started stalling. "Let's wait for the market to rise. Maybe we rent it out. Actually, what if I moved in for a while?" Fast forward 6 months. Kevin's living in the house, rent-free, no intention of selling. Meanwhile, I'm covering property taxes because he's between gigs. When I pushed him about it, he flipped. You've always resented me because Dad liked me more. I just blinked. I wasn't even mad. I was tired. Then came the twist. I found out through a mutual friend that Kevin had refinanced the house without telling me. He forged my signature on the paperwork, took out a loan against our property, and guess where that money went? A crypto startup that failed. Within 3 months, I confronted him. He cried, like full-body sobs, said he was ashamed, said he didn't know what he was doing, that he thought he could double our inheritance and finally be the one who gave back. I could have pressed charges, but I didn't. Instead, I called the bank, I paid off the loan quietly, sold the house, split the remainder with him, evenly, just like Dad wanted. And I haven't heard from Kevin in 2 years, but last month, I got a letter in the mail. No return address, just a note and a photo of a halfway house in Oregon. I'm working on becoming someone you'd be proud to call your brother again. I'm sorry. It wasn't signed, but it didn't have to be. Hey, I'm Tom. I'm 48, and I thought my life was finally settling into something warm, familiar, good. I met Julia at 41 after my divorce. She was different, soft-spoken, wild hair, always barefoot. She brought plants into my house like it was some jungle she was building from scratch. She never asked me to change. She just sort of fit. We got a dog together, Bruno, a rescue, half pit, half couch potato. He loved her. I loved her. But then something shifted. She started working late, stopped making coffee in the morning, stopped humming while folding laundry. I asked what was wrong. She said, "Nothing's wrong, Tom. I just don't feel like I'm in this anymore." 2 weeks later, she packed a suitcase. Then she took Bruno. I begged her, "At least leave the dog." She looked at me and said, "He's my only emotional support right now." And left, but that's not the end. 3 months later, I ran into a mutual friend. Turns out Julia didn't just leave me. She moved in with her ex, the one she said was toxic. Bruno's in their Instagram photos now, wearing sweaters, looking happy. And me? I got another dog, named him Coffee, because that's what I started making for myself again. Everyone's carrying something, and sometimes sharing a story is the first step toward healing. Which of these stories stayed with you? Drop a comment. Let Anthony, Tom, and Daniel know they're not alone. Your words might be exactly what someone needs to hear today, and if you've lived through something like this, we're listening. This is Story Space. Real voices, real life, right here.